Hello everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Cyclonus coming with you with another toy review video. And as you can see on the screen, this week's video is going to focus on Studio Series 86 Scourge from Transformers the movie. Now this is number 5 of the 86 Studio Series line. So, man, this is the epitome of the Scourge figure, because I mean, it's almost as if, and I've said it before with some of the other Studio Series 86 line figures, but it's as if they just jumped out of the screen. And man, I am very, very impressed with how Hasbro and Takara basically got these figures. I mean, so far, I mean, granted, there were a couple of complaints on a couple of the figures, but oh man, I mean, I am very, very impressed with this. Now, I wound up getting this. Figure last week. This was delivered to me by Hasbro Pulse, so it came directly to my home instead of to my P.O. box like it was supposed to. I'll have to go ahead and contact Hasbro Pulse, see if they can make sure that the others are doing that as well. Anyway, moving on ahead. I mean, as you can tell from the open window, it's a very, very awesome looking figure from what I'm seeing so far. I love the artwork on the side there. Now, I do have the package angled up instead of straight forward, just to basically get the glare out. So, but nonetheless, some really great artwork of Scourge. Really, and I'm going to see if I can zoom in on the figure itself, and that is really awesome, and I really am liking this. So let's go ahead, and I want to zoom out just a bit and straighten this out here. There we go. And there we go. Alright, much better. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at the side. Now, this is a Voyager class figure, and it shows a close-up of Scourge's head. And on the other side, you see a more full-on pic of Scourge. I'm trying. There we go, right there. And then, of course, you have the product shots. And you see both the the robot mode as well as the figure. So I'm gonna go ahead and do one more turn around to show off the figure. There we go, much better. Alright, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and get him open. Alright folks, there he is out of his box and posed and ready to rock. And he is so damn awesome looking. Now, man, like I said before, it's as if he stepped out of the screen himself. Now when I took him out, I took some opportunity to go ahead and mess around with him a little bit, and this is one of the things I've said about some of the other Studio Series 86 figures, that in certain areas they are really tight, and I will show that to you in a moment. But before we go ahead and concentrate on the figure, I want to show off this awesome looking backdrop. I mean, definitely straight out from the movie. So you see where you see Scourge already reformatted into his new mode, and then you see looks like Kickback and Shrapnel basically about to be reformatted into his sweeps. So that is pretty awesome looking. I really am liking this. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at him. And I'm going to zoom in just a bit. There we go. And like I said before, I mean, this is an awesome looking figure. There we go. Sorry, I'm just adjusting as I'm going along here. I mean, just take a look at that face sculpt right there. That is so awesome looking. The way his helmet looked and everything. Very strange looking helmet, but again, you know, this is supposed to emulate part of his transformation in that mode. You see the pink fingertips on there, which was, I always thought was pretty weird, but okay, you know, it's a new figure, it's a new character. Okay, I'll go with it. A lot of good molded detail along his arms, on his chest. And I'm going to go ahead and lift him up just a bit so you can see his legs, his feet. On his back, this is probably where I'm going to have some complaints about. I'm going to try and zoom out. There we go. And adjust. There we go. So these are supposed to be like wings, but you know, they kind of fall short. But again, this is all due to transformation here. So we will go ahead and take a look at that once more. One other thing, and as a matter of fact, give me a moment to adjust it so I can have at least a portrait view instead of a landscape view of this figure. So give me a moment. Alright, thank you for allowing me that little adjustment period there. Now, reason why I wanted to get that long view is mostly because, you know, he's got his weapon raised up, and because of the way he's posed. And I'm going to show you that, you know, again, he's got a really cool looking weapon. I want to say it's kind of reminiscent, though I'll have to look that up later. But the thing that they've been doing, and I've noticed that again, and I will repeat this as often, is that Hasbro is just keeping a lot of these open gaps when it's supposed to be more of a solid weapon, and I'm not really liking that. I wish Hasbro would just cut their shit out on that, honestly. I know, you know, it's something that they thought it was cool, but it really isn't. But what is cool, I have to tell you, is that with this one in particular, they are adding in blast effects. And that is awesome looking, you know. And I'm going to twist the hand now. You will know that this thing is stiff as hell. Good gravy. So that's a complaint that I have right now, is that that's like the hands are really stiff. And as you can tell, that is really cool looking blast effect. It really is. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take a look at his articulation. So I'll take off his weapon here. And put that off to the side. So one of the things we're going to do is he does have some articulation in his head. It doesn't go 360, and that's due to not just the shape of his head. It's on a mushroom pig, mind you. I think it's on a mushroom pig, but it's because of his collar back here. He's able to look down a little bit. He's able to look right. He's able to look left, but not a full 360. At least, yeah, it's not a full 360. His wings can bend back, and this will allow the arms to spin 360. They can raise up because it is on a type of ball hinge here. So for those that didn't see it the first time, because I was out of frame, more than likely, his arms can go 360, but you have to bend the arms out a bit to avoid the wings here. Again, they can bend out. They do have an elbow, or not elbow, but a bicep swivel here at mid bicep. He can bend about a little over 90 degrees, and as I stated before, he does have some articulation in his hands, but it is stiff as hell. And I'm gonna try and do that. Whew. Good gravy. Oh, you know what? Screw it. Believe me, it's there, but it's stiff. It is stiff as hell. He does have a waist rotation. He can kick up a little under, probably about 85 degrees. He can kick back probably almost 90 degrees, but he keeps on hitting this back wing here. And for those that didn't see it, because I was out of frame again, he can kick out a little under 90. He can kick back, but he keeps on hitting that back piece here. He does have about 90 degree knee bend, which is very stiff. I want to say that he does have thigh rotation on the top, but it's very, very limited. He does have toe tilt right there. He does have ankle tilt right here. So that is it. And like I said, the wings can fold back, but they can also fold out again. And this, like I said, is a very awesome looking character, but good gravy, it is stiff as hell. Oh man. So wow. So if nothing else, let me go ahead and make some minor changes to the set real quick, and we'll get started with transformation. Alright people, thank you for your patience and waiting. Now, we're going to go ahead and get started on transformation. I'm going to go ahead and go real slow. Now, considering I had just opened this, we're going to go ahead and look at the instructions to make sure I'm doing everything okay. Let's see here. So one of the first things we're going to do, since we got them up front, is we're going to go ahead and start off with connecting his legs together. Now they are connected, and I'm going to bring out my trusty pointer here with a peg, which is right here on his left leg, and I'm going to show that, bring that up to you. So there's that peg right there that's going to go into that slot right here. So we're just going to go ahead and just peg that together. Alright. Now once that is done, we're going to go ahead and the back wings, I want to say, are like so, and I believe these back sections have to be folded up and folded out like so. Now I'm probably skipping over a step somewhere here, because one of the things that one of the things that it is showing me is that, and okay, so now, looking at the instructions, it makes a mention of something. It makes a mention of this tab right here going into these slots that are on his arms. The only thing is, though, I have to wonder, how is that possible? So, oh, okay, I see it. Okay, I was wondering. So these arms have to fold down. And okay, there we go. Yeah, so these side arm, or I should say these side pieces along his flanks here, they do pull out. They are connected by a tab right here, and there's a slot to it right there. So boom. Now once these are done, now you can be able to connect the arms down like so. So I thought, according to the instructions, and I'm going to show that to you right now. So here are the instructions. This section right here. See, I thought they were talking about the wings in the back, but no, they are talking about the arms on the side. The arms, on the side flanks there. So once those are done, you're able to go ahead and connect that. Oh, there goes my pointer, which is actually my X-Acto knife, which is not the most safest thing to use as a pointer. Okay. Now that that is done, so far so good. We're going to go ahead and turn him around, and I think this is where it shows off the the sides here, which are connected by a little tab right here. So for those that didn't see it the first time, there's a tab right there that connects. Ooh. There we go. What the hell just popped off? Oh, okay. So luckily, these things do pop back in. There we go. Alright, so that goes right there. Alright, so once all this is flushed. Now it does make a mention. Huh. Oh, there goes the legs. I accidentally untapped them. There. Whoa. Come on. Stop it. Okay, so... Okay. Alright. So in the section concerning the head, I'll explain why this is turning. This needs to be turned around, I should say, this pointed piece right here needs to be turned around like so. Once that's turned around, then you pull this up and you just peg it in. Okay. All right. Or maybe, oh, hold on, my bad. Okay, so this front piece is supposed to be sticking forward. Then this turns around, that goes in. Bingo. Okay. So, oh, damn it. Yep. Okay, so now that that portion is done, now we just have to pull this. Ooh. Okay, we gotta pull these wings out to the side, and there we go. Now, at this point, this back piece will have to go ahead and go out, like so. Now, there are a couple of tabs here, and there's a couple, or I should say a couple slots, and there's some tabs at the, almost at the back of his calves here, so that is where those are going to connect, like that. So, oh yeah, his toes have to go up. Like so. There we go. So we fold those in. Now, next, there's this little cover here. That's gonna fold down. This will cover up his face, like so. Now with this portion almost being done, we gotta go ahead and fold this in and then start tabbing it. Now there's some tabs in the front, push that down. These little side thrusters go up, and then this goes like so. And I want to say that is it. Oh. There we go, like so. And that's it. This bottom portion doesn't remain flush. Okay, not as difficult as I thought it would be. I'm just gonna go ahead and just double check on a couple of things. Yep, that's it. Now, yeah. Okay, that is it for his vehicle mode. Now, unlike the original G1, if memory serves me right, I think he had like wheels underneath to roll. Now, considering that this is a different variation of Scourge. You know, they didn't do that with this one. You know, so it's not too bad. Not too bad looking. And of course, you can also put the blast effect on here as well. So there it is, right there. Let's see if we can do a zoom in on that. And boom. Not too shabby. Let's go ahead and take a closer look. Pull that blast effect off of there. At some of the details on this. And like I said, it's almost like, you know, he popped out of the screen. I like the effect that this had. Or I should say not the effect, but I like the way they try to keep true to its original color. You got the Decepticon symbol right in the dead center, almost at the bow. It's basically like a space boat. I want to use these sort of like, you know, to where you can have them even, like so. You know, and that honestly, that looks actually pretty cool. But the instructions does say to fold this down, I should say. So, doesn't really, there we go. Other than that, I mean, you do see this gap, and I do see where, for those that didn't see it, you fold the toes and the heel spur down and over, and you just have that. I have to say, with Scourge, he was really an interesting looking vehicle mode. And of course, there's that one scene in the movie where it does show his face, where it's like, allow me to gut Ultra Magnus, you know. And of course, he's being, you know, shooed away like by Galvatron, that Ultra Magnus is mine. So now, of course, there are like a couple of the 3mm ports or 5mm ports, and you can put Scourge's gun on the side like so. But you know, you know, I can do with this, you know, where his weapons will be visible, you know, right there. So it's not too bad. So let me change my camera angle. I want to get a wide shot because I want to go ahead and bring in Cyclonus along with him. So give me a moment. Alright, thank you for allowing me to make some minor changes in terms of the camera angle. And as you can see, he is with you know, his Decepticon mate Cyclonus, and they do pretty much, I guess I want to say they scale well. I mean, considering they're both futuristic vehicles anyway. But nonetheless, I mean, because this is supposed to be like a hover type of craft to begin with, so you don't see the landing gear. With Cyclonus, I think when they added the landing gear mostly because of the fact that Cyclonus did land on Cybertron right in the middle of Starscream's coronation, before Galvatron popped out of Cyclonus' cockpit and blasted him into dust. So it is what it is. But it's not bad. Like I said, the transformation's a lot more simpler than I let it on to be. I did bring out the instructions mostly because this was the first time bringing it, so I'm not going to deduct any points onto it. Again, seeing as how there's no back on here, that is about it. So give me a moment. I'm going to go ahead and transform them both, so that way we'll do a comparison of each, and I'll give you my final thoughts on this. Alright folks, thank you for waiting. So as you can tell, they have been transformed back into robot mode. Now I've got them side by side. Now, in terms of size comparisons, they pretty much, Cyclonus is a much more larger figure naturally. I always thought that they did scale, almost with each other, but again, I want to say that when it came down to the G1 cartoon originally, even after the movie, scale was pretty much relative, I guess, depending on the scene and whatnot. So this could have been how they initially were supposed to have scaled. But nonetheless, they do look great together. Now, I do know that Cyclonus was marked for the Kingdom line, but the way this figure, basically the way the figure was constructed, I think he should have been part of the 86 line. But again, that's my own personal opinion. In terms of Cyclonus, like I said, he's a great looking figure, very, very reminiscent of the G1 film. Of course, naturally, they did take some liberties in terms of the, some of the physical parts of the transformation. But, oops, sorry about that. However, all in all, it is a great figure. Let me get Cyclonus out of the way. There we go. And, all in all, like I said, it is a great figure. My only complaints is basically, it doesn't roll. But again, I understand the logic behind it, since it's supposed to be like a type of hovercraft. It's not going to hit on there, so no wheels are going to be under there. So now the stiffness, though, wow. When it comes down to it, stiffness is going to be a major problem, especially when it comes down to the hands. Now, like I said before, I don't mind a little stiffness, but that is, maybe it's just on my copy, However, with my copy, that stiffness is really, really tight. So, if I have them, when I actually do have shows to post some of these figures on, he may just be like this. And whatnot. It's going to be rare that I will actually have him especially with his hands in any type of posing where I have to go ahead and move or twist the hands about. So You know, other than that, I have to give them a final score between 1 and 10. I'm going to have to give them an 8. It's the stiffness that took a point away. Transformation difficulties notwithstanding, again, this is the first time I've done it. Not to mention, there was a couple of areas that I was looking at the instructions incorrectly and thinking it was for one thing when it was actually for something else. So I'm not taking points off for that. But the major thing for me was the stiffness. It was just way too tight on my copy. It may not be on yours, so that's always a good thing, but just be aware. You know, if you do get this figure and you do have an issue with stiffness, just be mindful. You know, don't manhandle it too much to where it winds up breaking. So let's see here. Now, I do know, like I mentioned earlier, and I don't mean to cut and run here, I do know that this has been seen out in the wild, you know, Target, Walmart, stores like that, but I wound up getting him as one of my pre-order items from Hasbro Pulse. So let me ask you, have you been able to find this figure, or you know, did you order it through Hasbro Pulse or through one of the other toy sellers like Big Bad Toy Store, or you know, or some other place, you know? And if so, do you like it? Do you hate it? Leave me your comments about this figure in the section down below. Like, share, subscribe to my channel, ring the bell icon so you'll be notified on any upcoming videos that I produce and put out. So I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you. Again, just leave your comments in the comment section down below. And this is Phoenix Draconis, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Peace.